May 1945. A Waffen-SS soldier strips the uniform from his back, buries his blood group tattoo under layers of dirt, and walks into a crowd of refugees. Behind him, his comrades hang from lampposts, executed by their own Wehrmacht. Ahead, Soviet checkpoints where guards roll up sleeves, searching for the mark under the left arm. The war ended. His nightmare just began. What happened next wasn't just punishment. It was a 4-decade battle over whether these men were soldiers or executioners, a fight that would reshape Germany itself. In September 1946, the International Military Tribunal declared the SS a criminal organization. Membership alone became prosecutable. But what happened to those who survived the initial purge? The answer involves Cold War politics and a massive rewriting of history. September 1946. The International Military Tribunal delivered a verdict that would define post-war justice. The SS declared a criminal organization, not just its leaders, every member. Membership itself became prosecutable. Denazification tribunals processed millions of questionnaires. Categories ranged from major offenders down to mere followers. But SS men faced special scrutiny. Rank mattered, theater of service mattered. Thousands had already been executed in 1945 alone. Soviet soldiers shot them at checkpoints. Allied troops executed guards at liberated camps. Wehrmacht soldiers even killed SS officers in Berlin's burning ruins. High-ranking leaders like Ernst Kaltenbrunner received death sentences at Nuremberg. Hundreds of thousands of men had served the most criminal regime in modern history. No society had ever faced this scale of complicity. But the Nuremberg verdict was only the beginning. What happened next depended entirely on which army captured them. The Soviet zone became a death trap. Guards rolled up sleeves at every checkpoint, searching for the blood group tattoo under the left arm. That distinctive SS marking meant immediate execution. Those who survived the initial screening faced open-air POW camps across occupied Europe. Open-air POW camps stretched across occupied Europe. Former elite soldiers, men who terrorized entire nations, now struggled with dysentery, starvation, and the complete collapse of their status. The Soviet gulags proved even more brutal. Starting in 1945, thousands endured conditions designed to break them. Freezing deaths became common. No appeals, no trials for many. High-ranking leaders like Ernst Kaltenbrunner received death sentences at Nuremberg between 1945 and 1946, but thousands never faced justice at all. Clandestine escape networks, the rat lines, smuggled lower-ranking members to Argentina, Syria, Egypt. Falsified documents, new identities, complete disappearance. Those who returned to Germany faced a different punishment. A nation desperate to forget denied them employment, recognition, basic dignity. The same communities they'd once dominated now wanted nothing to do with them. Thousands were summarily executed upon capture in 1945 by Soviet forces, Allied troops, even Wehrmacht soldiers settling scores. The system seemed designed to remove them from power permanently. Within 5 years, West Germany would completely reverse course on how it treated these men. 1950, the Federal War Victims Relief Act passed through West Germany's parliament. Former SS men, declared criminals just 4 years earlier, now qualified for pension benefits. The shift accelerated. In 1953, Chancellor Konrad Adenauer made a statement that would reshape everything. He called Waffen-SS veterans soldiers like any other. Official normalization. The message was clear. West Germany needed these men's votes. The Cold War changed the calculation entirely. West Germany faced Soviet pressure on its eastern border. The country needed experienced military men. It couldn't afford to alienate hundreds of thousands of voters who'd served in SS units. From execution to pension in 5 years. When West Germany rebuilt its military, the Bundeswehr faced a delicate question. Could former SS men wear the uniform again? The answer: selective acceptance. Out of 3,117 former SS applicants during rearmament, only 508 gained admission. Strict vetting, but still, hundreds of men, once declared criminals, now served in NATO's frontline defense. Pragmatism 1. Stability trumped strict punishment. The same system that had executed thousands in 1945 now granted monthly checks to survivors. The transformation from criminal to veteran happened in less than a decade. No lengthy trials, no public accountability for most. The veterans themselves organized to rewrite their entire wartime record. 1951, two former generals, Paul Hauser and Felix Steiner, founded an organization that would wage a 4-decade war over memory itself. HIAG, the Mutual Aid Association. On paper, it provided support for veterans. In reality, it launched a systematic campaign to rehabilitate the Waffen-SS image. The strategy was brilliant. Rebrand the Waffen-SS as purely military fighters, apolitical soldiers who'd simply followed orders, separate them entirely from Holocaust crimes and SS atrocities. By the 1960s, HIAG reached peak influence. They published memoirs, distributed magazines, held rallies, shaped public perception of their wartime service across West Germany. The same revolution that promised justice began staging something far darker, a rewriting of history while survivors still lived. Then, the 1970s arrived. A new generation of Germans refused to accept the sanitized version. They demanded answers. They confronted the Nazi past their parents had buried. Der Spiegel and other outlets began publishing devastating evidence. Direct Waffen-SS involvement in Holocaust atrocities, frontline participation in mass executions, village massacres. The apolitical soldier myth collapsed under the weight of documentation. Public opinion turned. The veterans aged. Evidence mounted. 1992, HIAG officially disbanded. 4 decades of lobbying ended not with vindication, but with quiet dissolution as public disapproval became overwhelming decades after the last veteran died. 2009, John Demjanjuk, 89 years old, convicted as accessory to 29,000 murders at Sobibor based on his 1940s Waffen-SS service, one of the final prosecutions. Time had nearly run out. By 2025, no surviving Waffen-SS members remained for prosecution. All would be over 100 years old, the biological end of accountability. But the controversies didn't die with them. Ongoing debates over pensions for foreign SS volunteers, controversial marches in Eastern Europe, arguments over historical interpretation that still ignite fierce reactions. The chaos of 1945 through 1949 left no comprehensive statistics. How many were executed? How many prosecuted? How many simply survived and disappeared into civilian life? Historical consensus now stands firm. The Waffen-SS was the armed extension of Nazi ideology, never separate from its crimes. The brutal fate was a direct consequence of the system they served. From execution in 1945 to pension in 1950 to historical condemnation in the 1970s, justice, politics, and memory intersected in uncomfortable ways. Cold War pragmatism temporarily won over accountability. Organized veterans nearly succeeded in rewriting their crimes as valor. History is constantly being reshaped by those who lived it. Vigilance is required to maintain truth. The black uniform and death's head remain symbols of the consequences of serving ideology over humanity.